God bless everybody today. It's November 10th of 2023. I think tomorrow is a day we should watch on our calendars. This will be the second time in a week that this main Hezbollah guy is coming out to speak on November 11th. I believe this could be the entrance of Hezbollah into this war, as we've watched Israel ramp up their attacks on Hezbollah to a fairly extreme level here lately, and we're seeing this conflict bleed all over the place. And I mean, this is becoming a regional conflict. But this is 11/11 is Martyrs Day in their world. Hezbollah, the leader of Hezbollah, Nasrallah, is, I'm probably killing his name, is going to speak on this day. I think he's about had enough of what's going on out here, and so I believe that this is going to be the speech that will basically light up the second front on the northern and eastern side of Israel, which is your Golan Heights, West Bank, and Lebanon areas, and so you need to be watching all that. This will also affect Iraq and Syria, and you still got the Gaza thing going on in the south. So the Secretary General is to deliver a speech on Saturday, November 11th, in the second appearance by the Lebanese resistance leader since the Operation Al-Aqsa Flood took place on October 7th, which is that Hamas entrance into Israel where they killed 1,400 people and did all the other things that they did. This is going to air tomorrow on Saturday at Beirut time, 1500. I think we're like 8 hours behind them or something like that. I can't guarantee that timing. We had this last speech on November 3rd, and then we had a ramp up. We're going to see another ramp up right after this, and so you just need to be aware of this date. You know, there's a reason for this Martyr Day. I supposedly this this martyr stood up against the Zionist entry in 1982, and so this was such a unique experience for them. They had to make a Martyrs Day out of it, so it is what it is. I believe something's going to break out tomorrow. We'll see how that works out. And in this article, Lebanon on verge of war with Israel as Hezbollah warns 1 billion Arabs are ready to support Gaza. And the optics of Israel going in and doing the siege on Gaza is extremely brutal on Israel because they were attacked on October 7th. They're doing what they think is necessary to go in and remove the Hamas threat from their southern border so that their people can go back, Israel's lights can go back into these areas and feel safe. And they're going in and dealing with these tunnels and all these different military structures and things that they're having to deal with over there. But they're taking a lot of blowback on the world stage, and I mean a lot of blowback, to the point where the Arabs now are having a meeting to decide what they're going to do about all this. And this might be part of this, is we have this Arab meeting coming up, which is basically giving Hamas support. So this article shows you that on November 9th they had this huge meeting where all these leaders got together to try to figure out what to do about the escalation in Gaza. And so there's a lot going on in the background. A lot of leaders are moving around. We're going out and trying to, you know, persuade people also as the United States. That isn't carrying a lot of weight out here, and we look extremely weak right now, and so this is a real problem. But the Muslim leaders, all the Arab leaders are getting together to try to decide how to deal with Israel. So are they going to get 1 billion Arabs to support them? Probably. I mean, it's possible. Nobody Most of these Muslims aren't fans of Israel, and so, as it biblically tells us, all the Muslims will come together at the end, in general, to eliminate this state. It's just that simple. And, Netanyahu's saying that he doesn't want to cover Gaza, but there's going to be a massive vacuum when they leave this place, and so they're going to have to figure out what to do with this. But you got all these people coming out, you got all this commendation, across the world, all these rallies and disruptions across the world, to support Gaza and these terrorists, which is what they are. And in my opinion, because we are building up so strongly on these oceans around Israel and in the Middle East, there's more going on here than just Hezbollah. I believe because Turkey's rhetoric is so harsh, they believe that they have to do a build-up because they are going to see Turkey get ready to come into this war on top of Hezbollah. Okay, Erdogan is not going to sit this one out much longer, just as Hezbollah is not going to sit this one out much longer. And this is going to cause Turkey a real problem and Erdogan a real problem because he's not a fan of Iran, okay? Even though he's over there parlaying with them, he's trying to figure out how to deal with these waters as he wades in here and realizes that all these proxy groups are a problem, not only for him and the Palestinians, because they're under control of Iranian proxies, okay? They're Palestinians, okay? They don't want to, Erdogan doesn't want them under the control of the Iranians, just as Hezbollah is the same position. And so these groups are going to go away. Turkey's going to control this whole situation before we're done here. And I think this is one of the reasons that this is so important. I'm going to play this video real quick because I keep talking about he's going to protect Israel in the sense that he wants to protect the Temple Mount and the Al-Aqsa Mosque. And that in his opinion, now this was 7 months ago, but I'll guarantee his ideology does not change. This guy is so driven by ideology he can barely see in front of himself, that this was a red line for him. And so watch this video real quick because he's going to tell you that no matter what happens, he's going to protect that Al-Aqsa Mosque area and that he'll do whatever it takes.
İsrail polisinin terör ve tetiş eylemleriyle Mescid-i Aksa'yı ve Filistinli Müslümanları hedef almasından duyduğumuz üzüntüyü ve öfkeyi belirtmek istiyorum. Bunun adı zulüm siyasetidir. Kan siyasetidir. Provokasyon siyasetidir. Türkiye bu saldırılar karşısında asla sessiz ve hareketsiz kalamaz. Mescid-i Aksa'ya el uzatılması, Harem-i Şerif'in kutsiyetinin ayaklar altına alınması bizim kırmızı çizgimizdir. Kudüs'e gerektiğinde canları pahasına sahip çıkan Filistinli kardeşlerimiz yalnız değildir. Müslümanların ilk kıblesine yönelik alçak.
So if you've been watching this guy named Erdogan, he's been all over the place bringing these Muslim and Arab units together to try to decide how to help the Palestinians in Gaza, and that this is an Israeli issue and that they need to stop immediately and create a ceasefire so that they can quit the pain on the Palestinian people. And he's going to keep pushing this narrative until something breaks out here. But now that we've had some 46, almost 50 or more attacks on our bases, I mean, it's getting close to 50 or more attacks. They keep happening constantly. We've retaliated a couple different times. These are not stopping them. In this case, this was on the 9th. So this is older information. We had 4 new attacks right after we did an offensive airstrike, and this did not seem to do anything to Iran or its proxies, the Houthis or any of them. They're not afraid. that we're going to actually do anything, and we're not doing anything other than hitting a few warehouses, so they're not concerned about this. Yeah, it was up to 46 on since October 17th. This was on the 9th, so I'm sure we're over 50 by now. And this is extremely important that we keep an eye on all these different information, because this is going to affect us greatly as we move forward here. The reason I say that we're in this for a longer haul, and probably there's a larger elephant in this room, which is Turkey, and this is why they're bringing so much military buildup into the oceans over around this area, because they understand that if Turkey gets into this war, it's going to change the dynamic of this tremendously overnight. Okay. Now, this article is on the 3rd, and I've noticed they've had other projections out here which show that even more Navy groups are moving into this area. We've had a few of them go through some really tight areas, peninsulas, different things like that. So we got to get these maneuvered into position. Hopefully nobody attacks them before they get in position, so that they can then do what they're supposed to do over there. Indicates that we've moved roughly 1,200 service members into the region, and roughly a Navy carrier group, which is roughly 2,000 people strong. I'm not going to get into this article too much, but you can get down into it and you can see the carrier groups and how many sailors and where they're located and the positions and all the different groups that they have with them. And so you can see the enormity of the amount of Navy that they're actually moving over to this area. And this is pretty extreme if we're just talking about Hamas and Hezbollah, okay? Because Israel should be able to defend itself to a certain degree here without us having this massive show of force over there, which is putting everybody on high alert. It's a real problem, and you can see all these different groups that they've shipped over there and different things like that. I'm not going to go into all these different things. You can go out and look at the articles yourselves. But just realize, I believe that we are in an uptick at this very moment. We are in a position for readiness in case something really heavily breaks out. And I believe with this Hezbollah leader coming out tomorrow to speak, this is going to probably be the spearhead that then unleashes the next wave attack against Israel from the north and the northeast, which would be your Lebanon, Golan Heights, West Bank area, Syria and Iraq, and then you still got the Houthis doing their stuff. So all that's adding to this whole dynamic and making this even worse. And so we need to watch all this stuff. But I believe this guy here, this Secretary General Nasrallah, on Saturday will speak. This will be his second appearance, and this will be basically the next front that hits Israel, and it will start on Veterans Day, Armistice Day, in their case, Martyrs Day. All kinds of days are coming up on this very specific date of November 11th or 11/11. We talk about those angel numbers. You got 4 ones in a row. I'm just saying, maybe it means something. I don't know. Lots of things could mean a lot nowadays. It's pretty hard not to get away from things that mean something today as we move forward here. And so you can see all these different banners and different warnings coming up. There's all kinds of, and see, you can see that violence erupts in West Bank as Israel's basically pounding these guys. Israel's bringing on this war. They've entered certain areas, the Jenin camp, as it indicates. Hezbollah is targeting Israeli soldiers on the Palestinian Lebanese border. You got all this going on out here, guys. If you don't see this coming, I don't know what to tell you. This is getting ready to ramp up. The one you really need to be watching is Turkey, though. When he enters the room, this is going to change the whole dynamic of this. Find the open door, find Jesus, get your oil in your lamp, and get ready. This one is going to take off soon. God bless.